Are you thinking about selling your home, but you're overwhelmed by the prospect of costly repairs and renovations? Well, you're not alone. In today's video, we're diving into the concept of selling your home as is, a popular strategy among home sellers looking to streamline the selling process. From understanding what as is really means to navigating the potential pitfalls and perks, I've got you covered. So let's get into the ins and outs of selling your house as is. First of all, we should probably define what it means to sell a home as is. It typically means that the home seller is not willing to make any repairs or improvements before the sale takes place. They just want this to be a simple and clean process without any of the extra steps. Basically, just buy the house and let's be done with it. While the house is being sold in its current condition, any hidden defects of the house must be disclosed by the seller to avoid any legal complications. These known defects may not be so obvious for a buyer, but they would affect the value of the home. So if the seller knows that the roof is currently leaking or that the furnace doesn't work below a certain temperature, they need to inform the purchasing parties. One of the reasons you might choose to market your home as an as-is property is to attract investors or buyers looking for a fixer-upper property. The seller can avoid the hassles of the repairs and just leave it to the savvy buyers to take care of it. Of course, these buyers are going to be looking for a deal. That way they can either make profit or account for all the time that they'll be spending on fixing up the house. Your 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home won't be getting the same market value as the similar sized home that's right next door if your house has holes in the drywall that need repaired or even windows that need replaced. Consider the cost associated with these repairs when you're trying to determine a fair market value for your home. While we're on the subject of money, let's take a quick look at one of the pros that comes along with selling your house as is. That benefit that I'm talking about is saving money on the front end before you even go to list your house for sale. Avoiding repairs and renovations before the house hitting the market means that the homeowner won't be out of pocket for any of their money. Now, a factor that may contribute to how likely or how fast an as-is home will sell is the current condition of the housing market. If it's considered a seller's market where housing inventory is low, a buyer may be more willing to take care of the repairs themselves. On the flip side, in a buyer's market, you may come to realize that these as-is homes keep getting passed up for homes that are move-in ready or that have sellers that are more willing to succumb to the wishes of the buyers whenever it comes to negotiating repairs. What happens if you're working on a deal, then the buyer comes back at you after the home inspection requesting repairs to be made? Well, you have a few options. Option 1 is just to say, nope, you aren't changing or fixing anything. At this point, the buyer may choose to walk away and the deal ceases to continue. It depends on the situation and the gravity of the request, but just use caution when using this approach. Option 2 would be to address the repairs anyway. This would be a good option if the requests aren't too costly or if they're easy to complete. Option 3 would to deny the repair requests themselves, but instead offer some concessions to the buyer at the closing table. That way they're able to take care of the repair costs themselves. If there's several issues after the home inspection, you could use a mixture of options 2 and 3. That way the buyer and seller arrive at mutual grounds. The last point that I would like to bring up involving selling a home as is a potential difficulty you may face when a buyer comes at you with certain financing options, specifically a FHA or a VA loan. These loan types require that certain safety and health standards be met before the borrower is actually allowed to borrow the money to purchase the house. The most common examples of red flags that I see come up on FHA and VA appraisals are chipped paint, especially around door and window frames, no handrails for staircases, and the amount of distance between spindles on a deck enclosure is just way too wide. If your home has features like this and you're still not willing to make repairs, you may be eliminating a large pool of potential buyers for your property. Now that you know the ins and outs of selling your house as is, what route are you going to take to get it sold? I hope that this video has provided you with the knowledge to make that decision. If you learned anything or at least appreciate my efforts, hit that like and subscribe button to help the channel grow. With that, I shall catch you in the next one. Cheers!